Well, hello, hello. I'm hoping everybody is having a phenomenal day. And welcome to another edition of Confessions of a Publisher Book Club. We're going to be discussing a wonderful book today, but I can't do it by myself. So I got to bring my girls on so that we can start this conversation. Well, hello, lady.
Hey.
Hello, lady. Well, how are you? You on mute, darling. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? Yeah.
The weather's been nice, but
It's been beautiful here in North Carolina, if I must say myself.
yeah, we didn't get all the heat that we've been getting.
It hasn't been, it's been, I guess, in the 80s today and the last couple of days. It
Yeah,
has
it's been
not
the same here in
rained.
the Midwest, kind of like that. We've been getting a little breeze now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we can crack the window.
I hear you.
Well,
I hear
look,
you.
even though I'm just coming from Texas and it was warm, it
Mm-hmm.
was still a good time. You know, as long as I
Yeah.
had my fan, I was good to
You
go.
was good to go. I know that's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Where them fans at?
Where them
You know,
fans that you
where the
needed them, right?
fans
Um, So, we are going to be discussing on a wonderful book today, ladies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm truly, truly excited about this book. I've read this book a few times,
Yeah.
um, and it is really one of those books that you want to pass on to some young folks. So I'm so
at?
Mm-hmm.
excited to be able to bring to the table today this discussion. I think this discussion should be had on many levels, right?
Yep.
Especially with this climate today, right? We really need to be
Mm-hmm.
sitting down with our young folks and talking about some real life events. Especially, like I said, with this climate that we have right now, we definitely need to be talking to our kids candidly about some of these things that we actually read about in this book. So I want first off to introduce the author of this book, Mr. Solon Phillips. I'm going to bring him on and we'll just have a brief conversation with him and then we'll start having the roundtable discussion about the book. Is that all right with you ladies?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's do it.
All right. Well, hello, Mr. Phillips. How are you? I can't hear you.
Is he on mute?
I don't see him on mute.
Can you hear me
Just
now?
can't hear.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can
We
hear
can
you
hear
now.
you now.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So I'm gonna let the ladies introduce themselves to you, and then you can introduce yourself to them, and we'll go ahead and get started and kind of give a little overview about who you are and about this book, and we'll start the discussion because I got a couple people that are in the back that are going to be a part of this discussion tonight.
Okay.
So, Miss Aloja.
Hi, I'm Aloja Hatley.
Hello.
Inspired
It's
Publishing
Aloja. That's how you say
LLC.
your name?
Aloja. Yep.
Aloja. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yep. Nice to meet you. I'm excited for this book.
Yes.
And I've met him at I think the first time I met you, I'm Shanita Burton, CEO and founder of She Publishing LLC. And I met you for the first time in Indianapolis. Yep, that's
Oh,
what we
okay.
met. And
All right.
I'm
Oh.
excited to talk about this book.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yes,
Yeah, that was
great time at that event.
yes, it was.
Yeah. So we'll let you talk a little bit about yourself. I kind of already know you because I'm your publisher, so you can.
Yes. Okay. My name is Solon Phillips. I'm based out in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I am an attorney. We have a law firm named Remus Enterprise Law Group. We practice litigation and immigration, and our motto is whoever tells the best story wins. We incorporate storytelling with law. I'm a writer as well. This is my third book that I've published, and I'm working on several more. I am currently directing a play in New York this December. It's called We Three Kings off Broadway. Very excited about that. That's going to be my first production in New York. So that's December the 10th. So if anyone is in New York, the website is remusentertainment.com. Can you not see me?
Yep.
Can you see me now?
Yep.
Yep, I can see you.
Okay. Alrighty. And yeah, I love writing. I love storytelling. And I'm very excited about Uncle Ross and the Adventures of Uncle Ross and Billy, Life Lessons Made Simple, because these lessons that's in this book, I've learned them over the years. But had I learned them early in life, I think I would have been so much farther along. Plus, life would have made more sense to me had these lessons been taught to me earlier. And so that's why I'm very excited about this book. I was reading it again to prepare for this. And I'm like, man, I've even forgot about some of the lessons and I had to start applying them again to my life now. So this is a timeless piece, and I would encourage everyone out there to read it. It's a kind of book that you pick up for your kids, but halfway through you realize it's a book you need for yourself as well.
Yes, I agree.
You know what? I really love what you said about you didn't even really remember all of the great lessons that was actually in this book. And I feel like I hear that a lot from authors, that sometimes they don't even remember writing
Yep.
this entire book, right? But one of my
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
first
Me
questions
too.
has to do with you being an attorney, okay?
I'm gonna let
And
some people in.
okay, you being an
Let them in.
attorney, and yeah, come on in, Mark and John, but you
Can
being
somebody
an
put you on
attorney,
speaker? I hear background. Somebody has TV on.
It's not me this time.
so can you hear me though?
I can
I
hear
I can
can
you.
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
Need to go
And,
ahead.
Yeah.
maybe if everybody else could go on mute, and
I
then
don't
maybe
hear now.
okay, okay, all right. But like you being an attorney, because I'm in the legal field as well, and I think you kind of got into what inspired you to write it. And did you write this book when you were an attorney or before you became an attorney?
I wrote it after I was already attorney. I have one of my law partners now, John Salati. He's one of our attorneys at the firm. And all of the briefs and motions that we write, we tell our client's story. So the whole Uncle Billy and Ross came about after the fact, after we've telling so many stories of clients who have, I mean, every individual, they have something going on. Usually when you go into court, it's because of some crazy ex-spouse that they're doing something with you and your kids, or we've had somebody who there was a dog situation, there was a false arrest situation. There's always some story. And human beings are story people. We relate better to stories, which is why Hollywood, people make millions of dollars telling stories. And so the whole legal aspect that John and I would incorporate in with our clients of storytelling is the product of this book that you have now. I think everyone's on mute.
I was just saying before we came on earlier that I was just telling Cynthia that I was just at a business meetup, and I was talking to a lot of young people, and this book I am encouraging every young person that I was talking to get the book,
Oh, okay.
because like you said, you didn't remember you had to go back. So there was the part where he was talking about the secret, or talking about, oh my goodness, it took me back to the documentary I saw like years ago. I don't remember about that, but over the last 6 months or so, I have been like kind of practicing um what you preach, so to speak.
Mhm.
And I think everybody need them Uncle Billy. I don't care how old
Yeah.
you are.
Right.
Mm,
Yeah.
agree.
Right.
I mean, like that was awesome. I was like, well, he kind of took me back. Then I started kind of looking for that The Secret. You guys ever saw that documentary, The Secret?
Yeah.
I was like, he
Yeah.
took me back.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's. I think all of the chapters in the book, I think, are very important about friends,
Mhm.
about money, about
Mm-hmm.
the reputation. But that particular chapter 3, the power of thought, I think it's one of the most important because it carries the same weight of some of the great thinkers like Earl Nightingale and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And they taught that we literally become what we think about.
Mhm.
That chapter is playful, it's memorable, it drives home the truth about our thoughts and how our thoughts create reality. And that particular story, you find yourself reading the story, smiling at the characters, and before you know it, you've absorbed a timeless principle that can change your life. So I think that chapter, I'm glad you
Absolutely.
brought that up because that chapter I think is the most powerful.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know when we first met, Salon, and you presented the book to me, and the first couple of days, I think I read this book in probably less than 2 hours because I was so engrossed in all of the things that you were saying. But it also gave me life lessons of things that I had not even heard of in this book, right? I remember talking to my granddaughter, who is 10 going on 20, and we had this conversation. I was asking her about thoughts and about how her day was and what she was feeling, and I asked her to um, read a little bit of your book, and she says, she calls me Mimi. She says, Mimi, I have no idea who this man is, but I really like him. I really like this uncle. Do I have an uncle like that? And I'm like, wow, when you have your children or your grandchildren have that kind of conversation with you to say that they want an uncle that they can sit down on the couch and come in from school and they look forward to these conversations on the couch, that's
Yeah.
what speaks to our children. And I was actually talking to Aloja before we came on. I said, with this climate that we're in, we need to do a
Mm-hmm.
lot more of talking. We need to have more sit down conversations, real conversations with our children and our grandchildren about what the world is about. And so I truly thank you for, again, extending the opportunity to be your publisher, but being able to learn some things. Because I always tell people, if you're not learning, you're stagnant. You never want to be stagnant. So it gives me the opportunity to read these stories over and over. And as Aloja said, being able to pass it on to this next generation, because this world is crazy right now. And so if we can get stories that hit home for these kids, I think we're doing them a very big service. And so thank you for writing this. And I'm looking forward to some more books coming my way.
Oh, thank you
So
so much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So we'll go ahead and get started and just talk about the different chapters in the books and what really hit home for you. I see we have Mark that came on. Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing? Black Cyrano coming at y'all. How y'all doing?
Great.
Good, good. And I see John, you said that was your partner. Hi, John, how are
Yes.
you? You're on mute.
Hit the unmute.
There it is. Yes. Well, hi. Thank you. And it's great to be here with all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and of course with my partner Solon. So, and this book that he wrote, but I got a really great chance to dive deep into and absorb the lessons you're already talking about. So it's great to have an opportunity to hear this conversation again and back in one more time.
Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. So Mark, tell
Yes,
us what you thought about the book and what chapter really resonated in you, and just talk about it just a little bit.
absolutely. So I'm gonna be honest. I kind of finished the book this morning. But I did read it during the week. Actually, started a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying to do like a chapter a day, even though it's 7 chapters. But I wanted to read all 7 chapters and then read it over again at once. So I just finished the second go around today. I say that the 2 chapters, and first of all, let me tell you that the book is exceptional. Great, great, great book. I think for me, just like Elosia mentioned, I think everyone in that age group, whether you're 11, 12, 13, like basically the pre adolescent to adolescent age, they need to get the book because there's a lot of important lessons that I wish I had when I was coming up at that age, 11, 12, 13. I mean, I think there are 2 chapters that came out the most to me. I think the first chapter about appreciation, I like that one because especially the story that he told about the cat, going to London because uh, Ross was complaining about the roaches in his mom's house and how he didn't want to live there because there's so many roaches. And coming up in New York, I mean, I know a thing or two about rodents and not wanting to live in a certain place because you have, roaches and mice running everywhere. And there's just some days I wanted to get away. But that chapter reminded me to appreciate the things that I do have. And the story that Uncle Billy told Ross about the cat that went to London, and then London got all the scenery. You got Big Ben, you got all these other historical places and locations. A lot of scenery that you could look at, but the cat was not focused on that. He was focused on he was focused on his prey, basically the mouse or whatever have you. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm guilty of that because I look at my current circumstances and then I don't count the blessings that I do have. I don't take the time to look around and be like, man, look at where I'm at. You know, like living in New York. Sometimes I kind of constrict myself to living in just my apartment building in Queens, New York. Never took the time to think, man, I'm living in one of the biggest cities in the world. If I research and I go out, if I look beyond my horizons, there's more I could learn. So I like that chapter. That chapter spoke to me. And then, of course, the chapter, I don't have the numbers with me, but I do have the book with me. But also the chapter that spoke on Black History Month. I like that one too. The Black History Month chapter. When Billy was at, no, when Ross came and then I'm surprised Mr. Solon went there. When Ross asked about the origin of the N word, and then and then Uncle Billy sort of awkwardly had to explain to him about where that originated from, and then how we sort of trivialize that word to an extent, but really don't know the history behind it. And then I like how he was quizzing Ross on these historical Black figures, and then I'm like, yeah, that reminds me of me too. Like I used to know we were just taught 2 figures coming up. It was Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. That's all the school system was trained to teach you. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, civil rights movement, move on. So I really didn't learn about other Black historical figures till later on, till high school, college. So that chapter taught me to, or that chapter showed me that you could teach our young kids or this new generation that there's more to Black history than just what they've been taught in the education system these days. Like, teach them more about history. Teach them the origins of our people. So those were the 2 chapters that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Alosia like the Black History chapter.
Black
You know
History.
I
Yeah.
did.
That one hit. You can't lie. You can't lie, Aloja. I know that one hit for you. I know.
Yep, that's the whole book. Like we were saying, this type of book is well needed right now, for everybody. Teaching lessons to have patience with children, because also autism advocate because I have a 22-year autistic son. And when we're looking for programs for him, we are looking for people who have patience with him, who's going to be able to take necessary steps with him. People don't have patience like Uncle Billy anymore
No.
with kids. They want the kids to grow up right now. I don't want you to be, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
let them be kids for a while, because adulting sucks. Let them, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them be children and be patient with them. And I love that about Uncle Billy and how he took his time and made him think for himself.
Mhm.
He didn't think for him. He didn't coddle him. He didn't, he was like, well, you get that $700 to get where you're going, but as of right now, you need to be happy cutting that grass. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah, I
the
like that
way,
too. Mm-hmm.
right, the way he did it, how you make people think they thought about it. You ever,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like my granny used to do, my grandpa like that all the time. She'll, make him think it was his idea in the first place. You
Mhm.
know, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. That's what Uncle
Mhm.
Billy did, and we need so many more Uncle Billies
Yeah.
for the patience,
Mm-hmm.
the tolerance, the whole fact that he was able to go to Uncle Billy's house in the first place. You know,
Yeah.
like to me that was like awesome. I'm almost like Mark too. I had to go back and kind of read again what I had already
Mm-hmm.
read, and y'all, oh, I was at work doing this. So
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
the two supervisors up there, don't get mad at me. I do what I do when I do it. So I
Yeah.
did, but that part is awesome. You guys know I'm also the historian of the publishing companies. I wrote two history books. Well, published two history books. So I'm glad you threw that in there. Like I was like, okay, okay. So now we learn it. We need some more of that too. I can't wait till you do another one. I'm hoping you do another one, another adventures. Maybe Ross is a young adult now or college age. Are you thinking about it?
Yes.
Definitely college age for sure.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Uh, but
Yeah.
hey, there are some times where Ross tried Uncle Billy now. I mean, I know Uncle Billy
Mhm.
was patient, but there were times where Uncle Billy was like, "Hey, slow your roll now, young man. Don't
Mhm.
overstep."
That
Because
Marine came out of him.
yeah, Ross was almost overstepping. Like he was like,
Mhm.
trying him, and then Uncle Billy's like, "Who are you talking to?" you know, because Ross was a fast one. Like he almost reminded me of me almost when I was because no, like when you're young and you think you know everything, and then your elders are trying to tell you like be quiet and listen, but you want to overtalk because you feel like you know more. So I feel like Ross was trying to do that to Uncle Billy, and then Uncle Billy was trying to tell him, "No, man, I know." And the fact that he flipped everything into like story or
Mhm.
parable like version just made it to where Ross had to listen to him. And by the end of the chapter, Ross is like, "Okay, now I understand what you was trying to say." Like he just quieted down just enough for Uncle Billy to get his points across. So
Mhm.
I felt like that was a cool dynamic, and Salon captured it to where he didn't make Uncle Billy like you know, this passive, like, hey, I'm able to take whatever Ross is dishing at me. Like he showed points
Absolutely.
where Uncle Billy was almost his patience was almost tried, but he stayed with him, like he didn't give up on him. So that's what I
It
like
was
about it.
almost the realness. You felt like you
Yeah,
were a part of the
it was
story as he was
genuine.
telling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this village. You know how we always say it takes a village to raise, but this it really puts it in real full force as to you really seeing him sitting down having these in-depth conversations with him,
Mm.
explaining to him why, like, yeah, I know I'm not a part of your generations, but I did this at a different time, but it's still the
It still
same
resonates.
premises. It resonates even
Mm-hmm.
today. And so
Mm-hmm.
it allowed me to again see that closeness between a young man and an elder. Having
Mm-hmm.
the patience to sit, like you say, sit down and have conversations with them. That's something that we seem to kind of don't do as much. We seem to be rushing to do everything, and we never really sit down at the tables and have conversations with our families. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about 2-3 weeks ago, and we were talking about what happened with us sitting at the table and having dinner and having conversations, or even after you get off of work and you sit down and ask your kids, how was your day? And it's not that anymore. And so this allows you to kind of go back and when you were a kid and seeing what life was like, and how you had the opportunity to speak to your mom and your dad or your siblings or whoever that was, or Big Mama, as we call my grandma, sitting at the table and having conversations with Big Joe or whoever that was. And so this book resonated to me because I have 2 boys, and they actually read the book, and for them to give feedback and say that they really enjoyed it made me feel good, because you hit home where a lot of people miss the mark. So again, thank you for taking the time just to sit down and have these conversations and putting them in a way that everybody can understand it.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more chapter that I actually like. I didn't mention. Just one more. The reputation chapter. I like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I love to hear John's
Yeah.
feedback and which chapter resonated with him.
Wow.
I talk
Well,
a lot.
no, that frankly, I mean, what can I do but repeat what you all have all said at this stage? But 2 things. I'll get to that great question, but 2 things that I think were really important to me. One was how Solon really drew the characters. Like you're talking about Uncle Billy, and especially in that first chapter, right? You're introducing these characters, and he's spending a lot of time telling about this person and really showing aspects of who he is, his personality, where he's been. So as you wade in, you really have a feel for this man and for Ross, his situation, his background. And so that development of the characters, I think, was a really important point of why the book works.
Mm-hmm.
And to Mark's point, and what have you, about Uncle Billy, he is real. He's patient, right? He is patient in the sense that, well, who's talking to anybody now seriously nowadays? Okay, fine. But there are really flashes where he gets impatient or he gets bored or he gets this. And so he's a real character. He's a real figure there that you can say, oh, yeah, he's not simply this angelic, he's always perfect, everything's this, everything's that. No, it's the sort of the back and forth banter and the kind of clash, family loving clash that goes on between them.
Yep.
That I think is important. The other thing that really stands out is, although on some level you could say this is a book for Ross is 13, right? 13. I'm 13. So, but really, these lessons are for anybody, for all of us. You don't have to be, oh yeah, direct this to your 13-year-old, your teenage kids.
Right.
Frankly, college age, 25-year-olds, 35-year-olds. Again, several of you have said, oh yeah, gee, that reminded me, the power of thought.
Mm-hmm.
That lesson is as important to me in my 60s as it would have been if I had read that story when I was 12 or 13 years old.
Yep.
So on some level, there is a timelessness in the sense that anybody of any age could read these stories and get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So those were 2 really big things that I thought were important to say about the book. In terms of a particular chapter, the reputation chapter is powerful.
Yes.
Because you really see Ross struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always a little something. Oh, he needs the money. He wants this. He wants that. Can I live with you? Oh, my mom, our house is so great. But it was that chapter with the reputation where he's coming apart. And then you see Uncle Billy really, he gets a little, why are you standing in the refrigerator? Why you sitting in my chair? That whole thing. But when he finally, my nephew's really losing it here.
Mm-hmm.
You see Uncle Billy he steps back internally and says, okay. And you can see his whole affect. He kind of goes deep, and he's going to change the emotional tenor of the room by changing himself and then drawing Ross back in. Just that whole, the whole lesson, who you think you are, and how you're thinking of your reputation and getting into what you need to be. But I just thought the interaction between the two of them there was really very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The lesson was almost secondary. You learn more from how these two family members connected
Right.
than simply saying, well, don't lie, and you'll never lie. And once you lose your reputation, when he gets his English accent and he does that and shows his worldliness, from the country uncle, he shows his worldliness with his British accent and all of that coming out. But then he, falls back into just how are we interacting with one another, and how are we being present for one another. That chapter really, and I'd be thrilled with a part 2 or another book in this series, even at this age. Or I'd want to hear more stories from Uncle Billy. That would be a whole good book in and of itself.
I definitely will be up for part 2 for sure, because I just learned, a lot, and it's like a time machine. It kind of took me back, because it was like many of the dilemmas that Ross was going through is like, man, I went through that. Oh, I remember when I thought about that. And the reason why I agree with John about the reputation chapter is because when you're in middle school, when you're in elementary school, I guess the popularity contest begins there, but it doesn't ramp up until middle and high school. Like at that age, boys, especially young boys, really care about their reps. Like they really care about how they're perceived by others. I know I did. So I knew right there how Ross was feeling, and then Ross felt like, man, I don't want to be, I'm just not going to make it easy for my uncle. I don't want to be anywhere. I'm just trying to just be over here, be by myself. And then Uncle Billy was trying to let him know, hey, you know within you that you're not a liar, or you're not who they perceive you to be. It's all about what you think of yourself, not what anybody else thinks of you. So the fact that he drove that point home really like resonated to me. So I like the reputation chapter as well. That one, like I said, the character bonding between those two characters, it really spoke volumes to me.
And can I follow up there? Mark, there's a great point there. And what comes out of that is the what if in the back of my mind with that. What if Ross didn't have Uncle Billy?
Yes.
Right? That little boy who's coming apart. Now, Mark, you said, when I was that age, right, my rep was everything. So if Ross didn't have that ability to get perspective and wisdom, what was going to happen? And it probably wasn't going to be nice. Uncle Billy changed the trajectory of that young boy's life right there. And so when you say, we need to be having these conversations, particularly in these, as Corinthia said, crazy days, because it's these kinds of conversations that change lives, save lives. And that goes back to Solon Phillips.
I agree. But what really also put things in perspective was Ross's mom having the know-how to go and reach out for the help. You know, she had him at 18 and knew that this person was who she needed her son to be in his life. So just having that know-how to say, look, I trust him. I'm going to allow my son to spend this time with him because he needs this. For her to understand that at that age that she knew her son needed this. And as you said, John, he changed the trajectory of his life. You know, what if he was not a part of him? You know, would he be a part of a statistic now? Where would he be? You know, so not, just kudos to that mom to understand that that's what her son needed at that point.
Yeah.
Shanita, you got
You
anything?
know, yeah, I reiterate what everybody has already said. Um, but appreciation, that's like a huge one. Appreciation can go a long way when you think of everything, when you think of reputation, when you think of the power of thought, money, all that other good stuff. But this book was so relatable to me. As Mark said, it was like a time machine. It literally took me back so much so that I had to start underlining stuff like I'm used to someone using somebody else's address to go to a particular school or something like that. It was just bringing me back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just as John said, this book is just not for the children. It's actually for us too to say, be that Uncle Billy, like be that
Mm,
person, do it. Because if we are not Uncle Billy, then what will our kids become? What
Mm-hmm.
is that what if? And it's like, even though you have to be patient, and I think I've learned to be patient with my children, especially I had two daughters who had IEPs. So it taught me to be patient. And just one other thing when it comes to reputation. Okay, so the kids started school in August. I have four daughters, Jada, Jasmine, Jordan, and Jade. So Jay, and they screaming in the background, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna mute and whoop some butt in a second. I'm gonna really be a Billy, a Uncle Billy. But her first day of school, she wanted to wear a shirt. Now she's going to a totally new school. Nobody knows her. Well, maybe the kids, but the teachers, they don't know her. And she wants to go to a school with the shirt that says, I don't care. Now, why in the HE double hockey sticks did that shirt even get in my house? I mean, did I buy that shirt? Did her sister buy? Who bought that shirt? But I had to tell my baby, like, you ain't wearing that on the first day of school. You're gonna establish your reputation. Hey, I had to give it. I had to, look, we have to sit and read the chapter of this book so we can learn some lessons here. So I'm sorry about all that, y'all, but this book is for all of us, and I appreciate it, and I'm looking for a part two.
Tell her to wear that on the last day of school. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, but yeah, that reputation bit, like I said, that's one of the biggest ones because growing up in a school system, or not even school, even sometimes at our jobs, we look for self acceptance. We look
Mhm.
for it to be perceived by other people as something else. Like we want to be like, hey, I'm this person, but a lot of times perception is not always reality, and sometimes you got to
Mhm.
be real with yourself. And when you're real with yourself, you're more genuine. People relate to that more than
Mhm.
if you were lying to yourself or being phony about who you really were. So I just think there's a lot of um, ingenuity with the chapters that Mr. Phillips wrote, and um, like I said, a lot of young men can benefit off of Uncle Billy and Ross because the lessons that they can take. And honestly, when I was reading it, I was thinking to myself, like, I could see like one day, and I know is that Mr. Phillips is also a filmmaker. This could be like a sitcom, like for real. Like this could be. I mean, we could bring the sitcom back. Like something like Cosby-esque type thing, but it centers around Uncle Billy and Ross. I could see that because the lessons that would be taken, plus they add their own comedic flair within each chapter. Like they both kind of push each other's patience, So I feel like everyone can relate to that, and then it teaches a lesson as well, while also making people laugh and then making them cry whenever you get to the emotional parts of each chapter, or making them just happy. I think that it could really resonate on the screen. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and we can go back to the part where he was telling Roz, I didn't get a chance to teach this to your mother. And I said, wow, as parents, the things that I can go back to teach my children, because some things you don't learn until you older, because we always learning. But when he said, well, I'm just trying to teach you this because I didn't get a chance to teach it to your mom. That's why she's so quick tempered,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about that. I was like, wow, that is me.
Mm-hmm.
The mom is probably me,
Mm-hmm.
in rural Illinois. So but
Mm-hmm.
right now, literally, I tell my oldest two, who are 34 and 31, I say, I didn't get a chance to tell you this back when. Like we had a conversation about, my parents didn't get a chance to teach us, money, how to handle your finances, how to, because there was a different generation. They was more about just trying to get a job, keep a job, survival.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I told myself, as I learn things, I'm going to teach them whether they listen or not. Whether I'm going to put it out there. And for when he said that, I was like, wow, the the reality of it's a book, but the realities that he's bringing up, and it's a quick read for
Mm-hmm.
most of us. You know what I mean? Like it was quick. It wasn't like lingering or anything like that. And I said, wow, if we can all go back to teach our younger selves what Uncle Billy is teaching Ross. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you can go back to tell yourself, those lessons. And that was amazing to me. Like this book did not take a whole novel to get to, what he was trying to teach
To get to the
Ross.
point.
Get
Mhm.
right to get to the point of, you have to think about your reputation, watch what you say. That's biblical too.
Mm-hmm.
That's like ancient. Words have
Mm-hmm.
power. You know what I'm saying? Like he teaching him grown up stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time, like you said earlier on, um, by the time he gets older, he would be already better prepared. And to me, that's awesome too. I might even go back again and kind of read the other parts of the book again just to make sure I didn't miss nothing. But I know for sure that the lessons that we can be teaching our kids now, um, I don't have any grandkids yet, but other people's children, my nieces and things like that, I've already brought the book up to my sister, and because these kids are different. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys know,
Yeah.
these kids are different. They're a little different. Even the COVID baby's a little different, I mean, they catch on like this,
Mm-hmm.
they quick with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was more powerful to me too, that I am actually Ross's mother in a way. If you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other conversations around any other the chapters in the book, and what your thoughts were?
Well, can I jump in?
Sure.
There's a question I've always wanted to ask Solon, and I've actually just, even though we work together, we talk on a regular basis, I never have asked him. I thought, what better place to ask this question, Solon? Did you have an Uncle Billy?
Hmm.
Took the question right out my mouth. I wanted to ask that too.
He didn't pay me to ask him that. Now his reaction. I was a little surprised there.
I was like, is Uncle Billy based on a real person? Because it seemed like it was so real.
We can't hear you.
Is it Billy Fleet? Who is Billy Fleet?
Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
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 For some reason, my phone is connected to the mic and it's not the computer. I don't know. So people ask me often, am I Uncle Billy and is Ross my son? No, there's no relation. I'm not Uncle Billy. I did meet a man named Billy, and he spoke a lot like this Uncle Billy in the book. And that's where the idea came from. But the two characters are totally made up. And
Wow.
I just felt that these two would be great in working with each other and telling a story for everyone to learn these lessons. But a few interesting things. And I'm glad you asked that, John, because if you didn't, people would think that, I'm Uncle Billy, but I'm not. But part two, I'm someone who, and John knows this, everything that I write is like in layers. So there's things that are written, but there's meanings and intent behind things that are there, if that makes sense. If you ever watched an Avengers movie, they would have these little things, and then you go back and you're like, oh, that's why that was there. So this particular book, and you all have mentioned a lot of it already, so I'm surprised you all picked it up, but there's tons of little nuggets that's there about Uncle Billy's hands and the veins and his hair, where the mother is from. Someone said how she's 18. There's a lot of little names, I would drop a name in there, or sometimes Uncle Billy would say things like that Bible that your mother reads you. So there's a lot of little things that will come out in part two, and you would read it and say, oh, that's why he said that, or that. But there's a lot of buildup there. It's laying a foundation, and it will come out. It'll make more sense in the part two. Also, for those who don't know, I can't let this go by. John actually edited. He's the first one who edited the first version of the book. So he does editing, and he's great. So if anybody
We're gonna talk
needs
off
any
the
editing,
line.
Yeah, we need to
John. We don't talk to you.
yeah.
So Solon throwing out a plug out there for John.
We gonna talk
Yeah,
to you.
Exactly.
yeah. So he was great. He kept me grounded. He would ask me, well, what does he mean by this? Because I know a lot of country people, and country people say things in such a way that I think no one else could say it, So I tried to put on to write this, and I do this with my screen, the play. You have to sometimes put yourself in that role. I'm not a country person. My parents are from the West Indies, but I had to put myself into Uncle Billy and be that person. So I would write things, and John would ask me, well, what is this about? And I'll say, well, country people say, now a lot, they say now, but yeah, he was great in helping edit it to where it made a lot more sense than it did the first time it came out of me. So thank you for that, John.
Well,
So I'm hearing there's going to be a part two, which is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a part two.
Sounds good.
But before that, though, what did bother me at the end was, did Ross ever end up raising the $700 he needed for his trip? Because it kind of ended on a cliffhanger. You know what I'm saying?
Stay tuned. That will be
right.
Yeah.
But I like that though. I like that.
I wanted to give
part
it
two.
That'll be in part two. Okay,
that'll be a part two. And then the one where there's a lot of question marks is the Black history. Because if you notice, there's parts where Uncle Billy goes into himself and he's doing a lot of reflection. He's looking out of the window, but we don't know why he's looking out of the window. We don't know what happened to him. We know that he's older, right? From chapter 1, he's been in the military, but that particular chapter, something has happened to him to make him think,
go back
and be quiet. Yes. When he's talking to his young nephew, who was just clueless about, hey, he didn't know all this about slavery and the foods. There's a lot, even the water that Uncle Billy drinks now. There's a
Yeah.
reason for that. So yeah, there. If you go back and read, you might say, "Oh, okay, this is probably going to explain itself in the part two." But yeah, there's a lot there.
Man, I'm impressed by the character development, man. I mean, just the way that you develop Uncle Billy, and to now what could be a potential backstory that we might get into him, because I never really thought about it until you mentioned it now. That yeah, he'd be
Yeah,
looking out the window. We don't know why, but hopefully that gets
right.
revealed to us at some point. But I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mhm. You know
Yeah.
what? I even like the cover though. So can you explain your vision for this cover? Because I even like the size of the book, the feel of the book. It just
That
you know,
was
you see it.
that was all Calinthia. I had a first one that was the publisher just threw something together, and I said, yeah. And then Calinthia worked with me, and she sent things. I was like, hey, I really like this. Yeah, so that's all her. Her and her people just brought that to me, and I loved it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mm,
it was interesting because when I read the book and I kind of looked at the first cover, and we had long conversations. Me and Solon had long conversations about what his visions was for this book, and I told him, if you're coming out with another edition or a remake of the first one, we want something different, right? And so as I was reading the book and we were going back and forth about what his visions was, I was like, oh, let me think about this. And so um I have young boys too, so I was like, "Hey, would you pick up this book if it looked like this or if it looked like this?" And so that
Mm.
was that conversation back and forth, kind of picking the brain of young people to see if, in fact, what their choices were. And so when I
that's smart.
when I finally got the opportunity to give this to the graphic designer, she took the visions of what we were talking about, what Salon wanted, and as soon as I sent it to him, it was like, yes. I was like, okay, winner. Let's keep this moving. So I was very happy with the cover, and he was too. So hopefully we'll part two will be just as grand as this one is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, the
And
consumer always knows what they want. So
Oh yeah.
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 yeah, they
yeah.
do. And I was going to say, if you need any historical background for Uncle Billy, I am your girl. Just so you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
right. Because there
I,
is going to
I've
be
done
another.
all the research. So when he's pondering, if you want some ideas about what he's pondering about, like
Yeah,
I caught that too. I did catch that too. That he took that pause and start to stare. I caught that. I caught that as well. And I was like, what is he thinking about? What is he thinking about? So
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. There'll be another Black History. I think every series is going to have a Black History chapter because there's
This
just so
chapter.
much that hasn't,
Like
like
that.
Mark said, there's so much that hasn't been taught in school. Like most people don't know that the original American music is the Negro, the spiritual,
The
Negro
spiritual,
spirit.
yep.
Mhm.
Hmm.
People just don't know that, but it's not rock and roll. It's not any of this. So there's so much. Each chapter would have a little something, and it's also going to tell the backstory of Uncle Billy's involvement with Black history.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. Mm.
Make us all want to go find us an Uncle Billy.
I
Yeah.
got me a grandma Mabel, so I
You
mean
got Grandma
she's
May?
my Uncle Bill. Yeah,
Close
I
enough,
mean
right? Close enough.
she's no longer with us today, but that was my
Mm.
Uncle Billy.
Okay.
So
Yeah. And I think when we
You
talk
did
about that, when I
multiple.
said, our big mama was that person
mhm.
that sat down and had those conversations with you about her upbringing and like putting it full circle for us. And so again, truly a wonderful book. And I'm actually purchasing 25 of these to give
Oh,
to the Boys and Girls Club that I'm a part of. So they will be
Wow.
getting these
oh,
as a gift.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. That's great.
So hopefully they will be able to take these lessons as they grow and be able to put them to use, because we need it. We definitely need it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I heard you say in your introduction, Salon, that you have your play coming out. And funny that you say that because I always be thinking, I have a clip of that. So I'm
Well,
gonna play this so that everybody can see your play that's coming. When is it coming again?
December the 10th in New York City, Manhattan.
And
Oh
Mark,
the
you gonna be there?
tickets.
Mark, you gonna be there?
no, no, I'm in Atlanta. I'm not gonna be.
Oh,
I can't go up there
okay.
right now. So
Uh,
but
I
it's gonna
wish
be.
I could.
I mean, if it's gonna be live streamed, I'll definitely support it.
I have to
But
ask the theater if they could live stream it and record it. I
because if they
think
can
that would
live
be
stream it, I'll definitely catch it. Yeah. So I would
okay.
like to watch that.
Yeah.
All right. So I must I am not tech because my kid is not here, but y'all pray for me.
You'll
I'm gonna
do
see if
good.
it works. I'm gonna see if it works. Hold on, guys. Can we hear that?
I can't
I
hear it,
can't hear.
but
What
I can see it. Oh
child
yeah.
Yes.
is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds watch and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary.
Wow.
I like that.
That
Oh,
took me
nice.
back to choir in high school. I know, that took me
Now,
back to drama class, to
what I
drama.
like,
Right.
what I'm proud of with that is two things. One, the guy who made it, with AI, this is amazing. So the person who's playing Mary, he actually used my daughter's face. She's playing Mary. It's a small role, but so that's her face in there. And then Paul Heflin, who's singing that song, I actually arranged that the way he's singing that. So the whole arrangement of What Child Is This is something that I arranged. So I'm proud of that.
What's the name of that play?
We Three Kings.
Oh, okay. We do. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
We Three
nice.
Kings.
Love it.
And it's
Wow.
Yeah.
also written, as you can tell in Uncle Billy, he's a Shakespearean buff.
And that's what I
I'm
love about that too. Growing up,
yeah,
and Shanita knows. I mean, I was into
yeah,
Shakespeare
I'm a
back
Oh
then.
yeah.
Shakespearean person. And so this entire play is written in Old English Shakespearean language.
Oh, okay. Like thee, thou, and
Yeah. Because
dust.
it's set back in that time, 3 AD. So yeah,
Okay.
it was very fun and creative writing each line, but it's deep. I'm hoping that we can live stream it so people could actually
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
It's funny because I want to watch how people gonna react to that because people around me probably gonna be like, man, what they saying? I'll be the only one that be like, oh, I understand what they saying. I mean, this is easy. This is easy work because I read
Right,
this. Yeah. 'Cause I was big into Shakespeare and reading like most of all his works. So
yeah.
I kind of learned to read that old English literatures.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So this has been an amazing discussion. Truly, can't wait until book 2 come out, and so that we can have another roundtable discussion about how he has evolved and what his experience has been and what those lessons in the first book has taught him and what he's experiencing now as hopefully a college student, maybe.
Maybe
Don't
high
know where
school.
he's going, or high school, or whatever that might be. We're going to let you ponder over that, Mr. Phillips, and see where this takes you. But I'm excited about where you're going with this, and truly excited about your upcoming play. I had the opportunity. You sent me some pieces of the actors rehearsing their lines, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. I'm not into Shakespearean, but I was like, oh, I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds really good to me, right? Like so. But I'm excited about all the things that you're doing, and can't wait to see the next step in this journey for you.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna let around the table just to say what you want to say before we wrap this up. Aloja.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this book. Thank you for bringing me on the journey with Ross and his uncle. Just thank you. And I'm looking forward to the play stuff because I'm the drama queen as well, as you can see. So I'm looking for that. I'm crossing my fingers to hope they can live stream it. So me and Mark can have some stuff to talk about.
Definitely.
Miss Shanita.
Well, I just have a couple of announcements. I just wanted to say that I enjoy reading this book. Next month, the book will be Cracking the Code 10 Possible Reasons You Didn't Get the Job. And that book will be launching on September 2nd, so 9/2/25. And the author did that intentionally, 9/25. You see 9/25 in that date, September 2nd, 2025. So that is, I'm super excited about that. And also, Mark Bosajor, Fires of Justice, is actually in another book club next month, the book club read. And then also, we have sold out for our 2025 She Conference and Networking Convention, which will be next month. So I am super excited about a lot of things, you know.
Ooh.
But yep,
And
so that's all I
unfortunately,
have.
we wish you would have come. So maybe next year, Salon, you'll be a part of the gala or anything that we're having. We try to make sure that the authors are invited to all these things that we're doing because we still want you to know that we're still supporting you, even though your books have been out and
Yes.
in other people's hands. So we still want to make sure that people know that we're here supporting them.
Awesome.
Mark, what you got?
Yeah, so just as Ms. Boss Lady, aka Shanita, has announced, so yeah, my book Fires of Justice has been chosen as September's book of the month by the book club. I think it's called Late Night Readers Club, I believe the theme is. Yeah. And
Yes.
it's headed by Miss Omia Tylet. She's the head of the book club. She has a Facebook page, and that first week of September is a week where you can purchase Fires of Justice. It's actually it's actually the award-winning novel about a teacher moves from New York to Atlanta, Georgia, and he gets accused of raping one of his students, a 16-year-old white girl, which actually caused a lot of controversy in his city. And when he gets accused, his wife hires a private eye to investigate the circumstances behind it. So a lot of secrets are uncovered. There's a lot of drama in the book. So um, I'm thankful that the book was chosen for September's book of the month. And yeah, I will also be attending the author conference and gala that's coming up. So I'm hyped for it. I can't wait. Should be a dope event. Any other announcements that I have will be coming down the pipeline. I'll let y'all know soon. So
Oh, thanks, Mark. John, we're going to let you wrap it all up.
Well, I'll wrap it up saying we all need a role model like Uncle Billy, and how important, boy, a role model like that is in all our lives. This young boy, Ross, what a difference that role model makes. He's got his mother. There's no question. Mom gets positive reinforcement, although she only appears little here and there, but it's always positive reinforcement about mom. But how important then as well, he's got this male role model standing with him as well. And that is phenomenally important. So again, thank you, Solon. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. And I'll
thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you on December 10th in New York City.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, we
And
thank
where
you
can
guys.
where can this podcast be seen again?
It's on YouTube. So it's
Okay.
under Creative Conversations with Dr. C. So it's streamed through that, and I can give that information to you
Okay.
as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
All right.
All right. So guys, it's been awesome. As always, we have such a wonderful time with these discussions, and I'm truly, truly grateful for the discussion. Again, kudos to you, Salon, and we're looking forward to everything that's coming down the pipeline for you. And I'm looking for book number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So
Yes.
be on it. Okay. Okay. All right.
Definitely.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're gonna say good night. And again, we're looking forward to you guys next month for our next roundtable discussion. So without further ado, we're going to say good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Nice meeting you guys.
Hey, ladies, we're gonna there's some stuff that I wanted to put out there. I know you, Shanitha, you were talking about the gala. I want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. If you can mention that one more time in regards to the gala, and I will show the banner in regards to that. And then we're going to also showcase you, Miss Aloja, in regards to your upcoming event as well too, so that everybody can be on the same page, so that we'll know what everybody is doing in these next couple of months. So with you, Miss Shanitha, I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. So if you want to go ahead and talk about that real quick, and then we'll talk.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. C.
No
So,
worries.
yeah, so we are having the 2025 She Conference and Networking Convention. It'll be September 19th through 20th in person, and then we'll have a virtual session on Sunday, September 21st. But September 19th is the meet and greet. It will be at the Doubletree Hilton Hotel in Downers Grove, Illinois. And then the gala, the authors gala or gala, however you want to say it, that will be September 20th at Lakes at Lacey's. And anybody who, well, we're sold out now, but the specifics of the event was on our website, www.shepublishingllc.com. And so it's a white and black event, black tie event. And I'm just excited and can't wait to see the attendees who will be there. And then I just want to let you guys know that we are publishing our August 2025 BNB newsletter mag, which will say we're sold out. And so we're doing that sometime this evening.
Okay. I am super, super excited about this gala. It's sold out. So I cannot wait to see all of the authors and just Black excellence at its finest. I think we're going to have an amazing, amazing time at this event, like we've always had in the last, at least for the last 3 years that I've been going. We've had an amazing time. So I'm excited about what this gala is going to bring. I know there's some things that are coming down the pipeline that are going to happen at the gala. So I'm excited about this one. So Miss Aloja, you got something coming down the pipeline too. Hold on. I got something for you too. Hold on. All right, what you got?
You get the flyer. Oh, okay. I am hosting Fox Valley Mall's very first ever book fair. It is called Book Meet the Authors Book Fair. I am hosting authors, a few vendors, and is literally at the Fox Valley Mall in Aurora, Illinois. If you are interested in participating, you could contact Dr. C, or you can go to www.alojahatley.com, my first and last name.com, Inspired Publishing LLC on Facebook. This is their this is the first book fair they have ever had, and they have been there since 1973.
Wow.
So I'm
You
doing
making
something
history.
different.
You making a difference.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And then
Thank
the
you.
last thing I want to say, shout out to you, Miss Aloja, on your recognition. You got an award yesterday from
Yes,
the
the city
from
of
Aurora.
Aurora
What?
recognized me. The African American, well, the city of Aurora, because the mayor's peoples was there, and what they did is they recognized over 100 people applied to be recognized, but
Wow.
only think 20 of us were actually recognized. And what they really recognized me for, not just for Inspired Publishing LLC, they recognized my Black business group, Black Black Business Connections, on Facebook, which has over 2,800 members on it. So,
Wow.
and then I'm in a community. I'm in their face a lot. I know a lot of Black business owners and just trying to connect Black businesses and things like that. So it was nice to be seen. It really is. It's nice to be seen. And it was fun. And they opened up a new soul food restaurant. So we got a chance to mix and mingle and eat.
Mhm. Wow.
One passing that part up.
I understand. I understand. Well,
Yeah.
we're doing some great things in this community, and I'm super proud to be a part of this sister circle. And again, like I said to Salon, I'm excited about his journey, but I'm super excited about our journey. And that's starting with this gala in the next 3 weeks. We'll be together, really celebrating Miss Shanita and all her accomplishments in these last 5 years. And I'm truly blessed to be a part again of this circle and really celebrating what she has done and what she continues to do. So I'm excited about this gala. We're gonna come in fly. We're gonna have some fly stuff going on. So, but I just wanted
Yeah.
to make sure before we close out this live tonight that everybody knows that there are some great things that are going on, not just in North Carolina where I'm at, in Illinois, where Aloja is, and in Shanita in Indiana. So we're doing some things, and we want to let people know that we're out here and that we're supporting our authors and making sure that they are part of the know and understanding that they have power through words. And that power is these platforms that we sit on each and every time we get the opportunity to do so. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew all that good information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just say one more thing, and
Sure,
that is
darling.
that there will be a special announcement
Oh yeah,
at
I think
that
I
gala,
yeah.
like
Well,
a huge announcement.
a few announcements, not just a
Oh,
few,
a
a
few of
few,
them.
a few of them. We
We got
can't say the few,
secret.
but
We got secret.
Ain't
you if you
disclosed
you
just
got your
yet.
tickets, yeah, you get unfortunately there's no more tickets, but we're plastered on social media.
We
Mhm.
will. We
Yeah, so you'll
will.
know. But I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about what's getting ready to happen. And again, to be a part of this circle is amazing. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there before we ended this live, before we ended this month of August and going into September, letting people know what we're doing. So again, I said good night before, but really, I really need to say good night again, right? Dang. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to say good night. Good night, all. Bye.
Bye.
Night. Peace. When them fans at? When them fans at?
Little fancy. Little fancy.
Mhm.
Okay,
And you
she's a
look like
little
you was having
distracted.
so much fun. I was like, look at her with a hat on and everything.
Yeah. Oh my,
It
we
looked
are
like
good
y'all
tips
had
for
that was much needed.
yes. And ate real good. Uh-oh. I don't know if we stopped taping though.